me okay? Louder? Is that good?
Keep it close.
How's that?
Better.
Like that? Okay, like that. Okay. Hi, I'm Elizabeth Glass. It's a privilege to be here today. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's get right to the point. Who wants to take back power from these fascists in this building? So before I describe how we're going to do that, first a brief introduction. John already said a little bit, but I'm a teacher. I live in the East Village with my 4 kids, and I'm not in politics at all. But in June, well, I wasn't that. In June of 2019, the two youngest of my 4 kids were kicked out of school because of the repeal of the religious exemption, and it was sponsored by my state senator Brad Hoylman. And as John already said, he was already also sponsoring bills to force the HPV vaccine, mandatory flu shots, and 2 bills to make it so kids could get shots without parental knowledge or consent. It's absolutely terrible. So just so you know, unlike in previous generations, kids today, New York kids are mandated to get 72 doses of 16 vaccines in order to attend school. And so these bills infuriated New Yorkers across the state. So we organized, and that's exactly how we're going to take back power. We organize and we unite. So we started a group called Vote Hoylman Out on Facebook, and I invite you to join that group. And we started to protest. And let me tell you, I'm the loudest protester on this planet. But protesting alone will not take back power. We need to organize, and we need to unite the state by senatorial district and by assembly district. But first, let me tell you about what happened with the campaign. Another thing that people are saying that this is Republican versus Democrat. That's completely not true. A lot of people in my district, they hurt the medical freedom movement by switching to Republicans. Do you know why? My district is 65% Democrat. The only way to challenge a corrupt Democrat in that kind of a district is to primary them. So I have friends that switched to Republicans and they screwed the medical freedom movement. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So you have to be smart about how you go about the parties. And God bless the libertarians. Where's Victoria? But anyway, yes, Victoria, the libertarians are great. Sorry. So I was a loudmouth activist, and in that, people were telling me horror stories about kids, women who worked in schools, about kids getting Gardasil shot at school without parental knowledge or consent. And the package insert says death as a side effect, death, paralysis, and it was just heartbreaking. And so we couldn't find someone to challenge him. We looked and looked. And so I said, someone has to stand up for these kids, so I decided to challenge him myself. Because it goes beyond, that goes beyond corruption. This is all before COVID. This goes beyond corruption. It's just evil to do that to children. So I have no political experience whatsoever, and a fantastic fear of public speaking, so sorry. But I was able to find very good people who knew politics, who had the same values as me. And so despite being an unknown grassroots candidate with dramatically less money, we got 34% of the in-person vote in the Democratic primary. 11,000 plus votes, and I got 6,000 plus votes. Wow. And you want to hear the great news? So shortly thereafter, Hoylman announced that he would not be seeking re-election in 2020. Because our campaign exposes political vulnerability. We ended the state-level career of the second most powerful politician in New York. Did I do that? No, it was not me, it was we. It was because we organized an army of outraged parents. And that's how we're going to take back power in 2022 from these fascists. Yeah! Because if we do not have the right to control what is injected into our bodies, we are slaves. And if there's one thing that my campaign showed, the powers that be, that if they're going to treat us like slaves, we're going to fight back. I just want to also thank the donors, the volunteers, my family, my daughter's here, hi sweetie, and my heroic campaign manager. So right now, a large group of us from across the state are organizing to take back power in 2022. That's when the reps are up for election again. And I'm working with a coalition of health freedom activists at the national level as well. But in order to take back power, we need your support. Please donate at glassforsenate.com to fund this grassroots effort to organize the state with the goal of creating a PAC, a political action committee, to find and support medical freedom activists throughout the state. And that's how we take back power. Trust me, this is what needs to be done. So many have said to me, and I've heard this before, many have said to me, thank you for standing up and fighting. But this is very important. It unnerves me when I hear people say that, because the no leader is going to save us. Trump is not going to save us. Biden certainly is not going to save us. RFK is not going to save us. Q is not going to save us. The only one who's going to save us is us. We need thousands. This is a unique time in human history. Everyone has to stand up and say, no, I do not comply with your own enslavement. Do not comply with Cuomo's fascist executive orders as make-believe laws. They're not laws. Laws have to go through the Senate and the state assembly. He cannot make laws. It's completely illegal. So let's see. So we need to step out of our comfort zone, spread awareness, and organize locally. And please follow me on social media. The links are at glassforsenate.com and email me at glassforsenate@protonmail.com. Thank you. Oh, okay. So that was going to be it. But then last night I saw the New York State Bar Association, and so I have some things to say about that. So, it's very, very worrisome if they have a committee dedicated to drafting legislation to forcing the COVID vaccine on all of us. And, how dare they? They're not doctors. It's just absolutely shocking, absolutely shocking. So a lot of people have already spoken about the COVID vaccine, so I'm not going to you know what the deal is with that. So while the shot has not been mandated for children yet, and the guidelines from the CDC and the governor's office have indicated that schools will be a vaccination administration site. Unbelievable. It is shameful that Governor Cuomo, the New York State Bar Association, de Blasio, and Carranza have all indicated that children who are largely unaffected by COVID will have to get that shot. Shame on them. Shame. It's terrible. So it's worth noting, if you look at the New York State Bar Association Health Law Section COVID-19 report regarding the legal justification for mandatory vaccinations, there are some significant errors. And I know this is important to lawyers, so that's why I'm putting this out there. The report states that, quote, a majority of Americans still want the vaccine. Is that true? No! So that's line number one. Line number two, it says, quote, the gravity of COVID-19. What the heck does that mean? The gravity of COVID-19, quote, presents compelling justification in the state legislature and Congress to mandate the COVID-19 vaccine. This sentence has no footnote. So what do the authors mean by the gravity, quote-unquote, gravity of COVID-19? Why aren't they referencing the CDC, the death rates? So the omission of the CDC data and or mortality rates here is very, very questionable. And now, here's the most important thing that you guys have to know about, because no one's talking about it, but I'm a loudmouth about it on Instagram. Governor Cuomo said the goal is for New York to be, quote, the first state to immunize everybody, vaccinate everybody. So how can he do this? He doesn't have the right. The way he's able to do it is because of a bill called S7919. Everyone, please remember that number. And that is, quote, permits the governor to issue by executive order any directive necessary. That man can do anything he wants in the name of COVID. And that bill doesn't expire until April of 2021. So this medical tyranny is unacceptable. Our state reps have the power. They gave them that power, and they have the power to take it away. And no one's talking about it. I'm the only one talking about it. We need to take that power away. We need to all organize and see our reps and make them take away the power granted to Governor Cuomo. Because we're in the courts, but it's not working. Okay, so in a final note, do not be afraid. Read the Bill of Rights and do not comply with Cuomo's make-believe laws as executive orders. As Americans, we were born free. It is our birthright. Yes. I'm Elizabeth.